I don't know about you guys, but I like to keep my money where I see it. And that's exactly why Mint Mobile is here. Listen, 10 years ago, with the way the cellular was, I don't know, maybe you need to go with a big wireless carrier. That is not how it is today. You do not need to overpay for wireless to get great coverage. And Mint Mobile is making that clear. I mean, I can't tell. I didn't even realize how much I was spending on my wireless. And then I looked and I was like, holy cow, that's crazy. And then I made the switch to Mint Mobile. Turns out you can spend a fraction of the price for the same great coverage. Stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint exists purely to fix that problem. Mint Mobile has a premium wireless plan starting at only $15 a month. So ditch your overpriced plan. Their quality not just is compared to my old provider, but it's a league above it. It's crazy. Truly stop overpaying for wireless. Go to Mint Mobile today. You can switch your contacts. You can bring your phone. It's easy. It's painless. And you start saving money immediately. I can't recommend it enough. So if you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/VIALL. That's mintmobile.com/VIALL. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plans options are available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another electric, exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick. Joined right by my side is my gorgeous, very tiny, very skinny, very just sexy pregnant wife.
It's very belly heavy up in here, so.
I think you look gorgeous with your belly.
Mm-hmm.
We are up at the lake, and I've also realized I should have eaten breakfast this morning because
You should have fed me breakfast too. The fact that you didn't is crazy.
And we're running on fumes. We had a travel day yesterday. I know what you're thinking. It's not gonna happen. It was like the worst travel day we've ever had.
It was just one of those like delayed,
Every plan is
misconnection,
broken.
delayed. But
I do want to say shout out to the people on this, the customer service people in the field. Saints. I don't know how they do. One of the hardest jobs in the world, because the way just the miracle of flight goes wrong sometimes, and then delays will happen, and then the customer service on the phone sets up the people streets on the ground for like they push
streets
people,
on the ground. I don't
you know,
think that's
in the field, like behind the desk.
boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Sorry.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
And it's always a lot of like, listen, I am not mad at you, but in my body. It was a tough, long day. But we're here.
Can I ask how many hours was the travel day?
Woke up at about 5:30.
PST.
Yep. Got to LAX.
At
about 7.
Got to the lake house at 2 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, man.
And it did include, if you know the Midwest. And I made every bad decision. You know?
You did?
Well, just like when you had options, it's like, you know, you have 2 decisions. They're both bad decisions, but you pick one. Our flight was delayed. We had a tight connection. I'm on customer service. Anyways, I make, you know, they're like, door A, door B. I would pick door B. And turns out definitely should have picked door A.
Yep.
Like in planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it typically it'd just be one of those things. And honestly, everyone at Chicago Airport that was sitting around us seemed like they also had the longest day.
Yeah.
Which
O'Hare.
Chicago Airport? O'Hare?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like everyone around us seemed like they were like, canceled. I'm not getting home till midnight. I'm not getting home till this time.
It's a tough day.
So it's a tough day. But
flights are being canceled.
There was lots of tears from me and River. But
Yeah.
Nick handled
I cried
like
on the
champ.
inside. You know, I did go Kyle,
Aw.
you know, but I cried on the inside. We have a
You made it home.
fantastic episode lined up for you today. Jake O'Kane is a divorce lawyer who is going to be joining us. We're very excited to talk about him. But particularly me.
We're getting a divorce, so we need some advice.
But I am following the PK and Dorit divorce with great interest. And I just we have we talk so much about this shit. But like when we have Emily Baker on, and I'm sure she could give us great insight, but she doesn't practice in divorce law. And I think divorce lawyers are very interesting because like, obviously there's the legal aspect of it, but they're seeing relationships at their worst. But they've heard every story in the book, and I'm sure they have great insight to how these things go wrong. Anyways, excited to talk with Jake, and he's got some very interesting like perspectives on the Dorit and PK divorce of it all. Obviously, we have the Summer House episode. Like, man, it gets crazier and crazier. But like what it just shows is this like the way if you love an Easter egg, man, this season like people enjoy this. Enjoy just watching this season, in the sense that like if you're a reality TV fan. And you love just the, oh my God moments of like, I can't believe I'm watching that with like the hidden layers behind it. You can't get this level of authenticity that easily. And I just like, a lot of these shows, and I know we watch a lot of these shows to like kind of like check out or, watch casually, but like you can't do that this season as well. We'll get into it. We have Justin Sylvester, the very hilarious, very talented friend of show, also big, obviously Housewives and Bravo fan, to join us and help us break that all down as well. So it's going to be a fun, interesting episode. All right. Well, I think Jake's here. So I think let's dive right into the whole Dorit and PK of it all and see what we can learn. And then up next after Jake, we got Justin Sylvester to get into all your summer house drama. And then we'll talk a little Housewives of Atlanta and, maybe some Mormon wives. We'll see what happens. Anyways, Jake is up next. Before we get into this jam-packed episode, don't forget the Viall Files Plus episodes are now available ad-free on Viall Files Plus. Plus, in addition to ad-free episodes, you get your reality recap deep dives where we dive deep into all your favorite reality TV shows. Obviously, we cover a lot of content, but we don't get deep sometimes just because we're covering so much. And Viall Files Plus is the place you can find it. We got some Summer House we're going to get into, obviously with Perfect Match around the corner. We're going to really get into that. So many episodes to cover, whether it's Dorit's divorce or Beverly Hills Housewives or just general. That is where we get into the weeds. Plus, we have your Pop Extra episodes where we dive into those trendy pop culture topics where reality TV and pop culture intersect, and your update specials, your favorite updates from your favorite Ask Nick episodes, which comes out this week. So be sure to sign up, check it out. You'll be glad that you did. Speaking of Perfect Match, I think it dropped last night. It's a great season if you haven't checked it out already. We have a full lineup of Perfect Match interviews coming up starting next week. Allie Luber, you know her from Vanderpump Rules. She's the ex of James, the DJ, new father out there. Anyways, she's an absolute star. She's fantastic. She's so funny. She's so great. It's so great to have her back on TV.
And I feel like none of the men really like understand her humor, which is just like makes it even better because you do as an audience member understand her humor, and you're just like, I love her
Marissa
so much.
And Jimmy from Love Is Blind. Jimmy's sporting the new hair. A great cast of Netflix characters, and addition. Allie Luber. So be sure to check it out. Again, we have a great lineup of interviews coming your way starting next week. So be sure to check it out. It's streaming now on Netflix. All right. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. Wicked excited to be here.
So much we even got some breaking news, but we'll get into that in a moment. But I'm really excited to have you. Really excited to get into all things divorce law. Obviously, as people know, we have covered the divorce of PK and Dorit with great interest. Certainly I have. Before we get into that, Jake, I'm realizing now, because when I was like, we need to get a divorce lawyer on, I was online and we're looking, I'm seeing ESQ next to your name. And I've now noticed that is like, first of all, I didn't realize that Esquire, like Jake O'Kane Esquire, like sounds so cool. And I didn't realize that was I didn't know that was a lawyer thing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but is that like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
You know what? I couldn't even tell you. I just think it adds credibility. I'm told by the bar here that I'm allowed to do it now, and I don't know, a little ending to the name, I feel like spruces it up a little bit.
So really, it's just like a vanity plate, like for lawyers, like lawyers.
1,000,000%.
That's awesome.
1,000,000%.
And it works. It sounds so cool.
I feel like there's a little more trust built as well. It's like, oh, there's an extra thing there.
Like you're a knight.
Yeah,
it's great.
I'll take that.
That's fascinating. Well, doctors get to be like doctor. I'm Doctor
MD.
this.
Yeah.
MD. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I digress. Jake, really excited to have you on. Before we get into things, can you give a little bit about your background as a lawyer?
Yeah.
So that our audience is like, we should listen to this guy.
Yeah. So I've worked in family law for about 5 years now. I also have experience doing criminal defense, different kinds of restraining orders. I am a trial attorney. I've tried family law cases before. So, anytime I take in a case, I'm planning on it to go to trial. Not that many of them do, but you always got to be planning for it. ready to go if you need to utilize that.
That's awesome. Well, Jake is a good friend of Zach, friend of household, who's peaked on Plus a couple. Well, he was actually on Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he
broke down our Love Island.
He broke down our Love Island.
There you go.
Just trying to.
Shout out, Zach.
Anyways, obviously the Dorit and PK divorce we follow with great interest. It is something that's getting really, really messy. You know, these are two kind of interesting characters, obviously on the show. But like as a divorce lawyer, I'm just really curious. I just feel like one. I imagine a lot of divorce lawyers or lawyers who work in family practice, like you must hear just the craziest relationship stories. And on some end, well, I'm sure, like, I don't know, maybe there's some lawyers who are therapists out there. You probably have an interesting POV about like what causes a relationship to end, you know, who's right. Like, I wonder if like you're taking sides, even if you're like, regardless of who you represent in your mind. So I am just curious, like if looking at everything that's going out there, we have text release and things like that. What is your just like 30,000 foot view of this divorce and how does it compare to maybe other things you've seen that you've worked on?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a lot of these issues are very prevalent. Like, right? Like there's some issues with overspending. There's some alcohol issues that have been alleged. And, you know, I've also read that there's some issues of, you know, the parents communicating through the children. Those are all issues that take place in normal divorces all the time. The difference is the level of income and the amount of public exposure. I mean, looking at these guys, you have to evaluate how they're going to come across in court and how they're going to come across in a trial, which I think is really interesting when you mix in the fact that they're reality TV personalities. And, you know, I mean, especially part of Dorit, maybe a little more than PK's. I mean, her brand is, you know, her attitude, her spending, her personality. And that's going to come up and the court's going to evaluate that. Judges are going to make judgment calls on, you know, do I find Dorit credible? Do I like Dorit? Do I like PK? Do I find PK credible? It's going to go both ways for them. But these guys definitely have a lot of problems.
So when you guys are litigating this, is it almost like, I suppose, so much about the law outside of the facts of the case, which you think would be the most important? It is almost like a pageant, almost like a reality TV show in itself that you're trying to like connect with the audience, then being the jury or judge. And it's almost like a popularity contest.
Yeah, absolutely. So in family court, there's no juries. So you're just doing a popularity contest in front of this judge. I think that's a great way to put it, Nick. Anytime you have a family court case, it's all about posturing, all about how you come across. You know, let's say you run into an OUI, you know, you go in front of a jury, you just have to hit, you know, 3 points. Did I prove an OUI under whatever state you reside in? Here, there's so many factors and family court judges are given so much leeway to side with either side just based on, I call it vibes court because that's honestly what it is. So you better come in ready to present yourself well.
No, it's so interesting.
What is the OUI? All I know is IOU.
Operating under the influence, DUI, different states call it different things.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You know, it's so ironic when I think about this is that, you know, thinking about the popularity contest aspect of it, is that like I would say the number one excuse of a reality TV star, if the perception of them isn't what they feel the reality is to blame reality TV, to lean into like, hey, miss. And again, not to discount that. There's a huge amount of truth to like, yeah, I leaned the fuck in, man. I was making TV, right? Like it's not an excuse for like to eliminate any bad behavior, but there's a lot of truth to that. And I imagine most, if not all judges, even if they are reality TV fans, that excuse probably doesn't land in family court.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to land too well. I mean, especially, well, I mean, I think one of the major cases, especially when you see the revealed text messages that have been reported on this week talking about Dorit's spending, her entire brand has been extravagance. You know, buying so much things in so much expensive outfits and living a life of luxury. So then when PK comes into court and his attorneys make the argument that Dorit has been overspending, that's going to make it really difficult for her to escape that narrative. But based on the text messages, it does sound like there's some agreement floating around that they're ironing out. So hopefully they're close to the end. But, you know, things could fall apart at any moment.
Not too long ago, PK did a podcast and really just spoke his truth. I am curious, as like if you had a chance to listen to that, what was your just general take? And I guess like as a lawyer, whether you're his lawyer, I wonder if you would probably have advised him not to do that. But regardless, on both sides, when, you know, they always say like whatever you say can be used against you in the court of law. I imagine like doing an hour-long, you know, confessional is a lot of tea that like depending on who you are is like a lot of information.
Yeah, I mean, they're exposing themselves, right? If I'm PK's attorney or if I'm Dorit's attorney, I'm going to be watching everything they've put out. everything they've discussed about the case, everything they've talked about, even in their day-to-day lives. You know, hey, you've gone to this very expensive restaurant, or you've taken this trip, as you talked about on this podcast here. I mean, with Dorit, part of her, she has to be on Housewives. That's part of her income. She has to subject herself to that kind of revealing situation. PK, I'm kind of surprised that he made that decision. I would be very surprised to hear if his attorneys told him to do that or not, because I did listen to the whole PK interview, and I think he's going to hold himself up a lot better in court if this case were to go to trial than Dorit, but I would have said a lot less. I wouldn't have talked about the divorce at all on a podcast. I don't think that's smart whatsoever.
I love the accent. To that end, like, even if I don't even watch the interview, if I'm a judge, I'm like, you couldn't help yourself, man. You couldn't help yourself. And then it's like, then you have to ask yourself, like, what else can you help yourself with? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just shows a lack of, probably, I'm guessing, restraint. And I imagine like a judge is going to like weigh that in his, like, you know, it's just like, no matter what he says, it's like, because a judge is a former lawyer in most cases, and they must know, like, you probably did this against the advice of your counsel. And I wonder if judges like take that kind of things into consideration.
Well, they have to. I mean, you see it on small scales all the time, like soccer moms going on Facebook groups complaining about their divorce. You know, judges don't like to see people airing their dirty laundry. And, you know, they'll say, hey, this could impact the kids. Like, the kids could read this. I'm pretty sure their kids are like preteens. So they're going to have access to this information. And the fact that they're airing all this dirty laundry, like maybe they get made fun of in school or whatever, it's not going to be healthy for them. And I think that was very short-sighted on his part, especially because it's not a source of income for him.
Well, in tandem with the podcast, do you think that we're talking about reality TV, their presence and their storyline on this last season of Beverly Hills and their separation, like, is that something that like they're going to bring up in court?
I would. If I was PK's attorney, I mean, I know the alcohol issue involving PK has been brought up. I don't know how serious that alcohol issue is. I feel like if it was super serious, we would have heard more about it rather than just things that Dorit is saying. But yeah, because the kids are going to see that, and that impacts the children. You know, they really want you to shut it down. And, you know, both of them they're against each other. So it's not a distinct disadvantage for either one of them. But the more material you put out there, the more myself as a divorce attorney or any divorce attorney could use against you. And it's just not smart.
With the whole, like, him not paying the mortgage or whatever, and like her house then being foreclosed on, and her saying, I wasn't aware that he wasn't paying anything. I mean, that's got to look terrible on PK.
You know, it may look terrible on PK if he'd been doing it historically, and he has. But another issue as well is that she's living in the house right now. I don't believe there's any order of who needs to. So anytime you get divorced, temporary restraining order, you know, and you want to try to keep the status quo as much as possible. But anytime people are separating, you're going to get new property. And, you know, naturally the status quo of the financial situation is going to change just based on people being separated, buying new houses, having, you know, pay for utilities by themselves versus together. I mean, with PK, yeah, it could come to hammer him, but, you know, I think the spending issue with Dorit is probably more pressing there in terms of their financial issues.
So you think a judge would focus on, like, well, you are obviously spending all this money. Why weren't you, like, making sure your bills were paid type of thing?
I think that could be an issue. I do think that could be an issue. And also, too, it was brought up at their reunion that was filmed, I think, back in March. But there's a difference between financial abuse and outsourcing your financial responsibility. Advice for anyone out there: know what's going on with your finances. If you're in a relationship or anything like that, you know, at least check the tax returns every year, you know, every couple months. Just, hey, are we good? Let me look at a statement or something. But, you know, it looks like Dorit kind of gave that all over to PK. And, you know, her not being aware of her finances is not an excuse to blow so much money.
Yeah, because there's like, if I'm PK's side, he could be like, I would have loved to have paid our mortgage, but we had no money, you know, like, you know, she bought a purse instead. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate or true, but Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my question is, what is the ultimate purpose of these documents? Because I know it's family law, and I know like PK is asking the court to force the sale of the house, and a lot of this is trying to like show what their expenses are. So is this a separation of assets? Is this mediation for the kids? Like, what is the full scope of what these documents are trying to accomplish?
So they're trying to edge themselves closer and closer to a divorce, right? These things take time. And so slowly you have so many things to debate. You have the custody of the children, you have the financial assets, which is probably the most talked about issue as we're talking about now. So yeah, it's just edging closer to when they get to their final agreement. And it seems to be based on the text messages going through all of them within the past month or two. It looks like the only major decision left is the house based on what they're saying in these text messages.
In terms of like if they're separating assets and they're trying to prove like what was a necessity for, I guess, their lifestyle, I know one of the things that came up was the amount that PK would spend on groceries, which I think, or Dorit, but I think the amount came out to like $6,402 for groceries per month.
Eggs are expensive, guys.
But would the court look at that and be like, that was a necessary expense for their lifestyle? Or will they look at that and be like, well, that was excessive. You could have been shopping for like $1,000 worth of groceries.
I mean, absolutely. That's something that could come up. But I think what's really important here is, a lot of Dorit's expenses and, PK's expenses have been talked about for the last year. I'd be really interested to see in what happened the year prior. Is this going in line with what they spent on groceries in 2024? Prior to Dorit going to file. Yeah, when they were together. Is this along the lines of what they were doing? Or are these major jumps? Because even like the critique of Dorit, like I think she's getting a lot of crap for like $69,000 like bags and things like that. Was she spending this when they were together? Like, is this a normal expense for her? Or has she amped it up? If it's something that she's amped up, she's gonna feel the burn on that a lot more.
We always talk about how like reality TV it can often be the demise of a relationship, certainly a marriage. But I'm curious as it relates to just anyone listening to this, like how often do you see a couple that like part of their story is like someone or both parties, things change. Maybe they got this huge promotion, maybe they got a huge maybe inheritance or whatever it is, like something in that relationship drastically changed, where the couples like for whatever reason that was maybe like the starting point of like the rift. Is that a pretty common occurrence, or is it divorce more like, I don't know, there's like 50,000 different stories all unique?
You know what? There are a million stories that are all unique, but there definitely are trends. And like one of those trends is you pointed out, Nick, any kind of change in a person's life. And I think, reality TV and getting that kind of exposure is absolutely a huge change. And that's, going to put a significant amount of stress. I mean, I know from Survivor, my experience on there, which was very limited, that was a significant amount of stress on my life, but the thing with these people is that they've been doing it for a long time. They've been on Real Housewives since 2016. I can only imagine that being under the public eye, has put an even greater pressure on them, and when you're going into divorce, it's very difficult to have your dirty laundry aired to the public. And, you will see that when there are prominent people. Maybe it's not as big as national media, but people who are prominent in their community, they get, their board of selectmen or some kind of, political thing, or, like you said, a promotion. That any kind of change, if a couple can't last through change, you're going to wind up coming to me or someone who does what I do.
That's fascinating. So to wrap things up on Dorit and PK, I am curious, like, you kind of alluded to it, says you feel like PK will come across better in court. And it sounds like at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. If you're right and that is the case, like what could that mean in terms of a final determination? Like, I guess my question is like, what's the delta? Because it's my understanding like California is like a 50-50 state, and like so is Wisconsin, which is like two places I'm from. But like, so I guess my question is like, what, at the end of the day, how much does either party have to lose in terms of what they would be made responsible for by the determination of the judge?
So here, with the money being split, you're saying it's 50-50 state. The problem is here is their final issue likely is her amount of spending. If he can prove that she overspended, she was a shopaholic. You see it a lot of people with a lot of people who have like an alcohol problem or a drug problem. Hey, they spent marital assets on their drug, alcohol, or in Dorit's case, a spending problem. I think if PK can come across better and show him that he's been responsible where Dorit hasn't, and he's going to have to compare prior years of spending to this current past year, I think he's going to be able to hold himself, and he might get a little bit over the edge and get a little bit more than 50-50 because she has dissipated assets through her spending problem.
Interesting.
That's
So,
something she could be looking at.
so 50-50 state law isn't like a black and white thing. It's almost like a starting point, and then it's argued from there.
So that's typically how it works in mass in my experience. But, so things will go back and forth. I've seen people blow assets before where the judges say, hey, half of that money you blew on dumb stuff is your spouse's. So I'm going to take the half that you spent on that dumb stuff and immediately off the top, give that half of dumb stuff to the person who didn't spend that money.
But I'm guessing gifts for your wife doesn't count, right? You can't. If I'm like, I would never have bought this for myself and she asked for it, I can't go back and be like, I didn't want to buy it for her.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, anytime, you'll see people do the money thing where there's cheating involved. It's always a lot easier to catch when a dude is cheating versus when a woman's cheating. Because a woman, they'll go to Sears. They'll get some guy a set of tools. Men will wind up at Victoria's Secret getting them something like that. And, that sets up a red flag when I start looking at bank accounts.
Interesting. I don't know if anyone else had any more questions. My last question, I am curious. Obviously we operate in the court of public opinion, especially in reality TV, which predominantly for us is a woman audience. And I think, when we are obviously discussing these things, there's it's a little weighted in one direction. I also, by the way, and that's fine because it's a fact, guys. I say this to the household, and Justin Mayer and I have talked about this, that still to this day blows my mind that women weren't allowed to get their own credit card as recent as the 1970s. Did you know that?
Insane.
Yeah, I didn't know
fucking
that.
crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm curious, and I imagine, I guess my point to bring that up is I imagine over, not too recently, courts were probably heavily weighted towards men, and men always got the benefit of the doubt, and men were judges, and probably up until recently, I feel like things didn't really go probably pretty middle. But I'm curious, as society has evolved, have you as a lawyer seen a difference in decision making when it comes to how these divorces are litigated?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from what I see now, I think the biggest change over time, and you can even think about when you were growing up, if you had friends whose parents, they got divorced, the kids are going to dad's house every other weekend and maybe they're getting dinner on Wednesdays with them. Now, at least in my experience, I'm seeing more and more judges bend towards, 50-50 parenting time from what I've seen. And so, a lot of people say, family court, there's a little more women-sided. I think it's becoming more 50-50 as time moves on. But it really comes down to the end of the day, what judge do you get? What experiences have they had in life? Do they like you? Maybe your personality just doesn't click with your judge, and that can make it a tougher time for you.
So you're saying even historically, you feel like family courts have been more prone to side with women. I understand with parenting and obviously childcare, that obviously makes that's the case. But even financially, do you feel like historically that was always the case?
Financially, no. That's been more stagnant in my opinion. Typically when you look at the finances, it comes down to a math problem, right? You see alimony going to men and women now. I've had more cases where, women are receiving alimony than men, or, call it spousal support as well. But yeah, I would say financially it's similar.
Yeah, Rachel Lindsay's ex-husband is sucking off the... Anyway, anyone have any more questions for Jake before we go?
I have another question.
Yeah.
So in regards to speaking about the potential of overspending and debt on Dorit's side, I know that they experienced a robbery a couple of years ago and that had a psychological impact on Dorit, as it would. And I think, is there a world where if PK is trying to take the angle of she's overspending, that there can be an argument of that's her coping from having experienced that, and that's just a result of some kind of psychological defense approach?
Yeah, so you can definitely make that argument, and if I was her attorney, I would make that argument. But I think this is a lot of the when people are looking at these situations and they don't have experience in family court, they'll see actions of someone that they may like on TV, and they come up with a psychological reason that makes sense for why they did what they did, But at the end of the day, the impact of what she did, while maybe more understandable, he may still be able to prove that she overspent given the automatic restraining order that was put in place once she filed. I mean, you saw a lot of people bring up mental health issues and, the effects of abuse with that whole Taylor Frankie Paul situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the end of the day, they're going to look at the law and, did she make an unsafe environment for those kids? Not really why she did or did not. And it's the same thing here with Dorit and PK. It's not why Dorit did or didn't overspend. It's did she?
Interesting. Jake, really appreciate taking the time. A lot of interesting stuff. I could ask you a million more questions, but I know we have to get going. But we'd love to have you back. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Jake O'Kane, Esquire, everybody. I love that. Have you ever introduced yourself as Esquire?
You know, I would feel like an asshole if I did that. I can't do that. You know, I'll put it on every Zoom though. Every Zoom.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Thank you.
All right, talk soon.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
Bye. Thank you.
Helix Sleep, talking about my favorite mattress of all time. We are up at the lake, and you know what? Makes a house feel like a home? Your mattress that you sleep on. And when we come to the lake, we're still on the same Moonlight mattress that we have back in LA. And boy, are we thankful for it. Also, we got River, as we call a big girl bed. Boom, Moonlight mattress. Sleep is important, people. It helps you recharge, refresh, and you can get the best sleep you ever had on the Helix mattress. They have a lineup of 20 unique mattresses for all kinds of sleepers. Doesn't matter how you sleep. Helix has a mattress for you. Hot, cold, on your side, curled up into a little ball, big and tall for the kids. It doesn't matter. They have you covered. It's also recommended by doctors of sleep medicine and chiropractors as a leading mattress for the best sleep you'll ever get. Also, it's me. I'm telling you. I truly love this mattress. I can't say enough of amazing things. The prices are insane, and you can get it in no time. Stop wasting a Saturday by going to a mattress store. You don't need to do that. Just go to helixsleep.com, answer a few questions about your sleep preferences, and you'll be sleeping on the best mattress you've ever had in no time. Now they're giving you an extra 20 nights. They used to give on a 100-night sleep trial. Now it's 120 nights. It could be infinity. It doesn't matter. You're absolutely going to love it. It's going to be your best friend, and you're going to never want to give it away. Also, their mattresses come with a 10 to 15-year warranty, depending on the mattress. So go to helixsleep.com/VIALL for the best of Web Memorial Day sale. 27% off site-wide, exclusive for Viall listeners. That's helixsleep.com/VIALL, 27% off site-wide. Make sure to enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/VIALL. Well, you guys know we got some twins on the way, and that changes our calculus for our cars because now we need 3 car seats in a car. Not every car does that. So we are in the car market, and thank God we have Car Gurus because they make car shopping how it's meant to be. Simple, painless, and making a great purchase that you feel great about. Car Gurus is the #1 most visited online automotive marketplace in the United States, designed to help users buy and sell new or used vehicles. When you're making a big decision, you need a full picture. Car Gurus delivers exactly that. Unbiased deal ratings, price, and vehicle history, all the key details up front. You know when you found the right car at the right price. Finally, car shopping with total confidence. It makes it so easy. We shop, we know what we're looking for, we can compare prices. It takes all the stress out of it. We are so thankful for it. With more than 4 million listings, Car Gurus has the biggest selection of cars, so it's easier than ever to find the right car at the right deal. It's no wonder Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site, according to SimilarWeb's estimated traffic data. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CARGURUS.com, cargurus.com. I mean, a lot of interesting stuff. It sounds like PK is gonna maybe win. Although I do think it was really stupid. Like, listen, I appreciate him doing that interview. We would love to interview him, but I wonder if it's like it's in his best interest. But outside of that, yeah, I feel like if you're Dorit's lawyers, and they're be like, honestly, that reunion was not good for us.
No, it was not.
I mean, if the judge is a fan of Beverly Hills, for sure. Like they're annoyed with Dorit.
If they're not a fan, but if you're PK's lawyers,
team.
like she just, and for all we know, maybe fucking Dorit was like, you know what, I'm gonna show up.
Well, that's why she's so mad at Kyle for saying the whole like manic and erratic thing, because she's like, PK's gonna use that against me. You said it on national television that I'm acting erratic and manic, and like you've been my friends for 10 years, and now like that's gonna be used against me.
And that's fair. If you're Dorit, I get why you're mad at Kyle. The only issue is at some point when you keep acting mad and whatever the 2 words were, and erratic. But like she didn't, like Kyle's criticism had nothing to do with the fact that Dorit showed up to that reunion like how she did. and Kyle pointing it out wasn't like the big like reveal. It wasn't like we didn't see it until Kyle brought it up.
Yeah.
Natalie is right though, because the whole season has been Kyle kind of disproving everything that Dorit's trying to say, which then could be used in court to be like, oh well, he actually doesn't have a drinking problem.
To that end though, when
Like,
you say
she's
it
just
like that, I
perpetuating.
don't feel like I fully appreciated. Like well, two things. One, I get why Dorit's pissed. Two, at the same time, it's also it does tell me that at the end of the day, Kyle doesn't really like Dorit. She is better friends with PK, and right or wrong, yeah, her doing it has weight. Kyle certainly knows. I'm not even faulting. It's just like I think that's.
Well, I don't think Kyle was thinking about lawyers listening, watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when she's FaceTiming Bose and being like, listen,
right.
Dorit's spending a bunch of money.
Yeah.
She's kind of giving erratic.
And listen, I'm not. This is not a critique of Kyle. I mean, honestly, like after this reunion, if I'm Kyle, I empathize with her plight. I am just saying I don't think. No, I actually, yeah. I mean, Dorit brought it up too many times for it to not be like something. If you're best friends with Dorit and maybe you made the mistake of just like, and she's like, yo, like just remember, like everything it can be said, it can be used against the court of law. You might be like, oh shit, my bad, I would never do that again. But Kyle like is like her through line all season has to be, poke holes in Dorit's behavior.
Yeah.
I think it's so messy. I think my take about all of this as a child of divorce is like both of them are going to go into survival mode and they're both going to use their tactics of like character assassination. And like we're seeing the results of that on camera and in the courts. And like it's just going to like, because they're both trying to survive and like it's going to look messy.
No, but that makes up a great point, Justin, that I honestly would have liked to have asked Jake. Maybe I'll your perspective. Right now, we're in this kind of very like, now we're growing our family. I mean, I like to think we're still in the honeymoon phase, but I guess what I'm saying is this, like these couples that had children together are now getting divorced. Everyone outside looking in is always like, but the kids, and sometimes, especially like if this is a perfect example, their kids are teenagers. They're consuming this
I
content.
don't think they're teenagers. I think they're like 9.
12?
No, they're
I don't
younger.
know. You have 4-year-olds learning how to like open iPads. I'm just saying, like they're not that they're old enough to hear this stuff, to be teased at school. Anyways, but like, why do you think, Justin, as someone who's lived this experience, why do you feel like despite like this, because right now, I guess what I'm bringing like our relationship is like, I couldn't imagine to want to, even if I hated Natalie, disrespect her in a way that would impact my child's point of view. Because regardless of how I feel about Natalie, I know how important that relationship is to my daughter, and I'm just like, how do you, at what point, Justin, do you feel like people lose sight of that?
I have a vivid memory, and I know he asked you, Justin, but I do have a vivid memory of my parents' divorce when I was 3, of being like maybe 8 or 9, and my older sister and my mom, I remember, would just like say like, just like bash my dad, would just be like, he was never there for us. He was a bad dad. And at this point, I was seeing my dad every other weekend. He was like coaching my basketball team. And so I'm obviously not seeing the version that they're talking about. And I remember specifically going to them and crying and being like, stop talking bad about my dad. Like, he's my Superman, I remember saying. And they were like, oh shit. Sorry. Like, yeah, you're right. Someday. And of course, I grew up. I listened to all the stories. I heard, I saw what had happened, and I like made my own conclusions of what type of father he was. But it was definitely, I had that memory of being like, stop talking bad about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say that like my take is that everybody's a victim in the divorce, like your friends, your family, the children, the wife, the spouse, whoever, because like in order to separate your assets, it's so expensive. And like you end up feeling like you're owed something, or they did you wrong, or like to prove or to do custody, establish that, like that's so hard.
Yeah.
Like even long term on the kids and the parents, like to be like, I'm not having that full time with your kids.
Yeah.
So I just think like it forces everybody in the situation to, what I said, go into survival mode and like protect each other. And like I think there's so much collateral damage across the way.
Yeah. I think about like the Valley last season compared to this season with just like Jesse and Michelle. Like obviously they still have stuff going on, but they're actually they're like out of it enough now that they can like communicate with each other like people.
Yeah.
And it's like you just watch with PK and Dorit, like they just cannot because of all of this assets and all of the lawyers, when you just, it's just like sad when you get to that point in a relationship.
And that's
with
why
someone
with,
when you
like-
can't communicate with them.
And that's why with
anymore.
like Kyle and like Mauricio and Mansky, like them not divorcing, I don't see that as an issue because I know, like I see what they're doing and how that is protecting their peace and their children's peace.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I think that's like an approach that like everybody's like, well, if you're not together, divorce. And it's like, well, maybe it's not that simpler. And also maybe the path to like peace is like not rushing
Yeah, and
that.
again, there's so much we don't know about
Finances.
Kyle
Sure,
and
yeah.
Mauricio's relationship, but I don't think we can assume that they just fell out of love and there wasn't ever hurt on either side. Like, I guess what I think we need to give them credit because they clearly have gone out of their way
I
to
agree.
protect whatever relationship that still exists and whatever respect they still have for the sake of their family and their kids, which is paramount. And that's not easy to do. And like, are you guys watching Friends and Neighbors at all?
No, I
Great
want
show.
to. It's on
Anyways,
my
it reminds me
list.
of that because like the main John Hamm's character in the main family is like kind of honestly like gives like the Amanskys a little bit. We're like very successful. They got divorced, but they're still very close. And that the show starts with he finds out his wife cheated on him and blah 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 blah. But like he still there's a lot of respect and love because and again like there's a backstory and they both have their stories and this is all to say. There in that show, there's a lot of hurt on both sides, but they've chose to look past that hurt for the sake of whatever it is they're trying to preserve. And I think that's again, like I think it's really awesome and cool. I'm sad that the relationship didn't fail, but I have however they did
You're
it.
sad that the relationship didn't work.
Yeah, but I still have so much respect for how they have chosen to move forward. Because I no doubt I imagine very difficult. And I think sometimes at the end of the day, people will choose themselves in a breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think like just to wrap it up, like I think like when there's divorces where there isn't really like a big bad reason for the divorce, like it kind of like pressures you to like make it seem like there is, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like with Kyle and Mauricio, there might have not been that, but I also think
Or maybe there was.
on the flip side, or maybe there was on the flip side, there's divorces where like something bad did happen and it was good that divorce happened.
Yeah.
And someone did actually wrong someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess my point is, I
completely
think
agree with you.
I think at the end of the day, a divorce, everyone has their story, and I think sometimes,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think sometimes there's degrees of severity, right? But my point is like, just because there could be a relationship that ended, and it could have been really painful for one or both parties, and they could still choose to not burn it all down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there are people who all that happened, to your point, is there was a divorce. Someone asked for a divorce, and that alone made someone want to burn it all down.
Yeah, there's ripple effects.
But you point out Jesse and Michelle, which is fascinating because obviously we had Michelle on, and it was basically like Married to a Monster type of interview. And it is crazy to see them get along so well this season. It was like, well, wait, I thought, huh?
Well, it's like
so
and
well in
that's the kind
quotation
of-
marks too.
So well, yeah, but obviously it's like with divorce. Like, listen, both my parents like were married and divorced before they got together, and like all my siblings are half siblings and stuff from that. So like I'm no stranger to the dynamics of this, and I've watched my parents' relationships with their like ex-spouses like evolve over the years, especially with my siblings and stuff. And it's like even like I lived with that my whole life, and it's like you watch it and you watch people just like time, like it's just literally just like it takes
Sometimes,
it takes time and space to just like I don't know, evolve your opinion on something. Like, not saying they're great, sometimes these relationships are always bad, but you learn how to like deal with it for the sake of your children and your family.
It's also
you
kind of
know?
like, to play devil's advocate for Dorit on the show, like Rachel Zoe said it, where she's like, sometimes in the moment you literally just need to scream loud and like have your friends hear it,
Yeah.
which is the burning it all down,
Yeah.
like just in the moment you just need to do that because that's the only way for you to survive.
Yeah,
Or,
and
like,
people process that in like different
Yeah.
ways too.
Well, speaking of needing to talk to your friends, we're going to break down the whole Summer House episode. A lot of more Easter eggs, just a lot of crazy moments. That hug, as someone
Yeah,
who's not
bro.
a hugger, and my wife reminds me, you need a good 20-second hug to feel the love. Those two were connecting. They were
Yeah.
a connection of great love and respect. Anyways, we have Justin Sylvester with us to help us break it all down, and he's up next. Upside is a free, popular cashback app that provides personalized discounts on gas, groceries, eating out, even on the tightest budget. There is no escaping them. But here's what you can control: getting cash back every time you fill your car, hit the grocery store, or go out and eat with the Upside app. Hey, we got twins on the way. We got a 2-year-old child. Natalie and I have some mouths to feed. And you can't save enough money in this economy. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too frugal. And we appreciate anytime we can get cash back. And yes, that's right. It is cash back money you transfer straight to your bank account. Why not get paid for doing the things you have to do anyways? You know what I'm saying? It's just like a no-brainer. You should do no-brainer things and stop doing no-brainer things that you shouldn't be doing. And not using Upside or using Upside are both of those things. Make sure you're using it. Get that cash back, because you know what? You're going to fill up that cash tank anyways. You're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to probably take it and have a night out on the town. Upside has over 100,000 participating locations. Once you check the app, there's usually an offer wherever you're going. Upside has given back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you can earn, go download the free Upside app and use promo code VIALL to get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon of gas on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code VIALL. Well, I keep talking about trying to stay more healthy as I get older and become a father of twins, 3 girls and 3. It's crazy. Well, Nature Sunshine's chlorophyll stick packs has been a great way for me to start my day. Chlorophyll, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I know it's really good for you. It helps cleanse your body. It's great for your gut. It tastes great. I mean, side note, tangent, to avoid drinking high sugary things, you have to find great tasting alternatives, because listen, water sometimes is boring. Well, the chlorophyll stick packs, great tasting, delicious, incredibly good for you. Your digestive health is often overlooked, and it's tough to operate when your gut feels out of balance. And ever since I've been starting my day with Nature Sunshine, I just feel a little bit more in balance. I just feel more awake, ready to go. Also, that mid-afternoon crash, instead of having coffee, have yourself a chlorophyll stick pack. You'll feel fresh. You'll feel good. It also tastes great. I also have it with lunch. You honestly have it a lot. Again, way better than a cup of coffee. The chlorophyll stick packs have been great for me. It's just an absolute, and also they come in these stick packs, so it's easy to travel with. You pack it in your lunch or whatever. You can bring 5. Put it in your cubicle. Honestly, it's so easy to travel with. It's convenient. It tastes great. You bring it to the gym, whatever you want. Ingredients include plant-based, naturally cleaning chlorophyll, no sugar, artificial sweetener, colors, or fillers, which is something I really love. With over 16,000 5-star reviews, you know it's good. Get a daily detox with chlorophyll stick packs. Nature Sunshine is offering 20% off your first order plus free shipping. Go to naturesunshine.com and use promo code VIALL at checkout. That's code VIALL at naturesunshine.com. Owning a home is exciting, but it's also stressful, because at some point, a home system or appliance will break. Many homeowners experience a breakdown in the last year, and without a home warranty, repairs can get expensive fast. That's why a home warranty from American Home Shield is such a smart move. American Home Shield helps protect your wallet from covered home systems and appliance breakdowns, no matter how old they are. From HVAC and plumbing to electrical systems and kitchen appliances, they've got a plan for you when things go wrong. No system or appliance is too old for AHS coverage. And as a benefit to select plans, American Home Shield offers a video chat feature that lets you connect with a live repair expert to help assess or even fix an issue over the phone, which can be a huge help when you're not sure what's wrong. Don't worry. Be warranty. Listeners can get 20% off select plans today. Just visit ahs.com/viallfiles to sign up. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. Justin, we're always very happy to have you, and super excited to have you. I mean, obviously you're keeping up with all things Bravo, and actually, let's start with a little Atlanta, because there's so much to unpack with Summer House. But like, I haven't been keeping up with this season, but I just started watching. I always like to start where I am, and then I'll go back and watch the last line. What was that last line of the most recent episode when they were like,
"Oh my god,
your
like,
hot Cheeto
chili. Wait, yeah. Hot chili cheese Frito pussy. I'm not gonna scissor that.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Awesome.
Shit?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Amazing.
I rewinded.
By the way, if you go back in history, Atlanta has given you some of the greatest memes, reads, and lines of your lifetime. Like, OG Atlanta, before memes were even a thing, the shit Nene and those girls would say back in the cut.
Okay,
we
wig.
still wig. We still talk about it today.
Yeah.
We still use them today. Atlanta is kind of a factory of memes and lines.
And that's why they did good bringing back Phaedra and Portia and Cynthia, because you're bringing the OGs back to feel it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Although these new girls are kind of scary.
Oh, they're
I'm
good.
loving
Yeah.
Pinky Cole. I say this with caution because like a lot of people hate my fucking guts from watching TV. But I feel like I can read a person's energy through the screen. And Pinky just like, there are people who I want to be friends with, and there are people who will be like, I don't need to be friends with them. And I would like to be friends with her. I would not want to get
On her bad side?
on her bad side. I really respect, from like the little bit I saw, I'm like, she's on her game.
I'm scared of K. Michelle.
Yeah.
It's the
Gay
quiet,
on vacation.
It's the quiet bitches
Yeah.
I love her.
who I'm scared of. And also, have you seen Love and Hip Hop?
No, I've not seen Love and Hip Hop.
K. Michelle was on Love and Hip Hop for a long time.
Okay.
And when she goes off, she goes off.
She knows how to do it.
She knows how to do it.
She does give trained professional.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, she gives, I'm trying to suppress my anger because once it comes out, everybody can watch out. You know what I mean?
Also, her with the makeup when she's like, I'm not going to go to the dinner. I don't have my glam.
By the way, boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Also, like, that's reality. Like, a lot of times people don't realize, like, your reality is, if I don't feel like I want to go somewhere, I'm going to sit my ass in this room and chill the fuck out. You don't have to go sit with 6 women at a dinner party if you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
Just go with it. No, put up your boundaries. Put up
Yeah.
your goddamn boundaries.
Sometimes you're like, I will not be a pleasure to have in class. Therefore, I should not be there. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, as I always say, they may be your boundaries, but they're other people's inconveniences, and they don't have to like your boundaries. So while it might be reality, the other ladies might be like, I'm not so happy about this.
Yeah. We saw that on Beverly Hills this season.
Yeah. Please.
I always tell Kyle, get the fuck up and go. Just, by the way, what would they do if you just were like, you know what? I got a booty call. I gotta go.
To Kyle, nothing.
Yeah, they wouldn't do anything. Just get up and go.
Also, yeah, wait, going to Beverly Hills, when they were like, you left and you were gone for 2 hours and you're such an important part of, what were they saying? Like this show and this conversation, like we need you to be involved.
They needed her. You know what's interesting is when your storyline is the A storyline of the season, that's what they were saying. Like, Dorit is the A story.
Yeah.
Her divorce, her thing with Amanda, her thing with Kyle, her thing with Sutton. She is she and Bose's relationship, she and Rachel's relationship.
Yeah.
She is the ligament this season. So when they say, we need you, we needed you to be there because you're the story, they really meant it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really meant it.
That bonus check's really going to hit. I wonder how much PK is going to get of it, though.
By the way, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
The divorce stuff.
All of it. Going on a reality show and going through a divorce while you're on a reality show is probably the hardest thing. I'd rather get a colonoscopy after going to Chili's.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's
Awake.
Polyp.
Yeah, all of it.
No, it's literally like getting absolutely smashed the night before major surgery.
1,000%. And a lot of times, like, if you know a friend who's ever been through a divorce, you guys are a little too young for this. They don't think straight.
My parents.
They don't think straight at that moment. So to put a camera in your face and then you're thinking about what the audience is going to think, but also you're angry and you're mad, like
survival mode.
You're in survival. No, you're spinning. You're in the spin cycle at that point. So I kind of I'm going to give a break to Dorit on that because she is in the spin cycle right now and she doesn't know how to get out of it.
When you say a break, do you mean her conduct throughout the reunion?
I mean her conduct throughout the year.
But she was throughout the year. Like there were moments where I was like, I love. She doesn't give a fuck, and But like I just felt there's something about that reunion, the way that she showed up, really kind of condensed what it must be like to try to communicate with Dorit in a point of contention, and it seems very exhausting and frustrating, and almost like you could lose your goddamn mind.
Well, Andy Cohen lost his mind.
Yeah.
On the stage. He was like, oh, yeah. But we all have that friend. You know what I mean? We all have that friend that's like, girl, don't even waste your goddamn breath. She is about to annoy the shit out of you because she's not going to take accountability.
Yeah.
And it's like going in circles. We all have that friend. Does it mean that we don't love our friend? No, it just means that we're not trying to have an adult conversation with that person at that moment.
You just got to take it.
You just got to take it.
Yeah, it's also at a certain point, it's like if you know someone for so long and you decide you want to be friends with them, you just have to meet them where they're at and see who they are and like accept them for that. Because if you don't like it, don't be friends with them or deal with it.
Yeah,
100%.
You know?
Isn't that the truth though? Like, you know what they always say, as you get older, your circle gets smaller. And part of that is you're just like, you know what? You're not fucking worth it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because like when you're in your 20s, as long as they're willing to have fun with you, you know, if you like the same bar, you know,
you're good.
You're good.
Yeah. I got a lot of friends like that.
If they can get you into somewhere that you couldn't get yourself into, you're good.
When you're 40 and you both have kids and you got problems, you know, you need people to show up for you in meaningful moments, that calculus is very different.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, you know, Kyle is my closest friend. She and I are like siblings. And I tell people all the time, we forget that Housewives is a 10-month job.
Right.
Like, you start filming in August. You're filming August, September, October. You're doing pickups November, December. The show comes out in January. You're watching it and doing press January, February, March. Then you're doing the reunion in April, and then it concludes in May. You get a break in June, and then you're doing pre-production in July. So there's not that much time for you to get over shit. So a lot of times you're bringing in all the old shit from the last season that you haven't gotten over, and you're bringing it in with the audience's opinions about you.
Yeah.
So now you're going into the show and you're like, oh no, I need to change these people's opinions because they think I'm this, this, and this. And then they think Kyle is this, this, and this. So I'm going to go heavy on that. And they don't even realize that they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, what is pre-production look like? Is it just like cast members meeting with various producers to like get an update on lives and potential storylines?
That's exactly what it is. Okay. It's exactly that. And by the way, it just starts, it ramps it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It gets you back into that gameplay. So my suggestion is give these ladies maybe 4 more months off, maybe 6 more months off.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go live a little bit of life. Yeah. Let's let somebody go have some sex out here. Like you go find this.
Let them get their storylines.
Let them get their storylines.
Yeah. It is hard to, once you start thinking about how much they're filming and you realize it's like, what is reality TV if not talking about your actual life? But when your actual life is just working on this show, it just becomes like,
it's a lot.
You know, it's like, where does this stuff come from? And that's, I feel like, what you get with Beverly Hills sometime, where like the plot of the season is basically just like the subtext of all of them being on the show together.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if we're going to break the fourth wall, let's break the motherfucking fourth wall.
Yeah.
Let's not put a window in it. Let's not open a door. Let's break that bitch down and let us see what's going on, because we do live in Hollywood. This is the entertainment capital of the world. We have actresses, we have singers, we have all these, people on this show. If the show is their life, let's say like Dorit was 2 hours late to motherfucking filming. Let's show the crew sitting in the back with a timestamp, and let's go with that.
Yes, it also makes sense, like tonally. Yeah, it makes sense tonally for Beverly Hills too, because you are in Hollywood, and it is so much of the narrative of their lives.
100%.
Like, I don't know why they wouldn't just.
It's old school, new school.
It's old school, new school.
Yeah, it's kind of like they've been around so long. I think this is a challenge with any show that's been around for a while. They're not as nimble. And like it's again, I kind of compared it to like, I've always said like, WWE wrestling is really a reality TV show. It's like one of the OG reality TV shows. They used to be like, no, it's real. Like, they used to pretend it was real. And then at some point, I'm not a huge fan, but at some point the decision makers stopped pretending and just kind of like accepted that like everyone was fine with the fact that this is, real-ish and there's storylines. And you can still root for characters and you can still find yourself in the, and it didn't take anything away from the show. In fact, it gave them, to your point, Justin, a lot more creative freedom.
100%.
Yeah.
I watch people come back from the dead on WWE. Like, I literally saw a bitch come out of a coffin and into that ring, and I'm cool with it. I thought he died last month, but I am okay. Like, I grew up young in the wrestling.
Resurrected.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Got that resurrection stone from Harry Potter on USA.
The only challenge with that would be segue to Summer House, is when you get an authentic storyline that we're getting from Summer House. And I said this on the top of the show, that for however you feel, wherever you land on this, however you are triggered, do not forget to appreciate what we are witnessing and experience of a fan of reality TV, because this level of authenticity and to watch this back, and every fucking moment, every fucking scene is like locked in, put your phone down television.
Listen.
You just like, don't forget that, right?
It's because the vulnerability,
right?
Listen, when I tell you that editor, that bump of Coke, that pack of the PA that went out for that pack of cigarettes for that fucking editor, because what that woman had to do to go back into that film and find those small moments where things were awkward or we saw some tension between Amanda and Wes. Like you're seeing that hug from last night. Like that lingering hug, or that mic pack that he tried to cover with a sock. And he's having these conversations. Like that editor, that bitch better win a Nobel Peace Prize.
When she's trying to stop her husband from screaming and he comes up and grabs her waist and whispers in her ear and kisses her head right in front of Kyle.
Right?
What?
Right?
What?
No, it's all wild. And I can't imagine. I don't know why Kyle is not doing this, but he has to throw somebody under the bus so quick, because I know for a fact that Kyle does not realize that the reason why he is acting out like this is because subconsciously he probably knew something was happening.
Oh. He would have had to.
He would.
If that's happening in the house, yeah.
If that's happening in the house.
Yeah.
I have been more on the side of like not hyperbolic take, things like that, and more like we don't need a physical affair to. There still could have just, like, I think Lindsay Hubbard said as much. Like, there was clearly an emotional
That's what I'm talking about.
there. But either way, I am getting, honestly, at this point, I'm like, I think they'd be fucking. It is really, I don't know that, like, who knows, but it's.
Whole quote of the episode, I think they'd be fucking.
I mean, that forehead kiss.
I don't think they were fucking.
Probably not.
I think they were gearing up.
Yeah.
I think there was definitely.
They both knew.
They both knew. Yeah, it was simmering.
Yeah.
Things were wet. Things were hard.
Slow burn.
Slow burn.
Which makes the betrayal of Ciara just like so
evil.
I mean, it's crazy. Let me ask you a question. How would you have felt if it was Bailey that had hooked up with Wes?
I probably wouldn't have felt anything. I think she would have. I would have almost been like, girl, you like
that was stupid.
What a rookie mistake.
That was dumb.
But there's no friendship, there's no connection, there's no loyalty, there's no like lying in a bedroom talking about your divorce, one of the most intimate things, not getting relationship advice, from Ciara, who then she's the messenger in this relationship. It's just
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, go please, Justin, tell us something.
Unless that man has a G550 that I don't know about, and a credit score of 1,275, which is not even possible, and a home in Amagansett that connects to a home somewhere else, I do not get this whole thing, okay? And this is what I mean with sometimes when you're in a reality show, you're in a bubble because that was the hottest man in proximity to you. Same thing with Tom Sandoval. You have many a bitches sending you blurry photos in your DMs. Just go for one of the other blurry photos that don't work in the same restaurant as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're right, but like you do get though, right? I get less of West. Because like West, again, he's like having sex with half of America,
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
I don't like Amanda. I can at least connect the dots between like getting out of divorce and being scared to date. And here's this guy for the first time in 10 years is nice to her.
Who's always been there for her.
And I can't grapple with what's really fucked up is this like then there's some level of Ciara's attraction to West obviously was something that like consciously, subconsciously like sold Amanda. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I think that guy's like Voldemort. Like I'm watching him talk to the women, and he's like a snake. Like he's like a snake charmer because that tongue is so good. Like, oh, you don't deserve that, and da-da-da. Like the way he speaks.
He's playing the bimbo card, which is like attractive to people.
Yeah, the himbo. Like he's like such a himbo.
Yeah. He understands emotion.
He understands emotion. Yet he doesn't.
He's therapy literate.
Did y'all hear what he said to Dara at the party? this is the hottest outfit I have seen in this house in a really long time.
Huh?
A girl you used to hook up with,
Yes.
who is now saying I love you to your boy,
Yeah.
is the hottest outfit you've seen in a long time.
And let me tell you
And
something.
Ciara dressed up as the Lorax.
And by the way, that wasn't in the original final cut. After this all happened, I bet that editor who did the bump of coke, had the Red Bull and a pack of cigarettes,
Yeah.
that bitch added it back in.
Yeah. She was like, wait. I remember seeing something that definitely sounded a little weird. Let me go back and find that. Crazy. Just like another layer of disrespect. Like, if I'm KJ, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, why would you say that to my girl?
No,
it's really wild.
It's kind of giving pygmy energy in a way. He needs to know he can.
I also want to know what they're going to do next season because, you know, when they announced this Love Island thing, they said, no, Ciara was going to be back. They sold the house that
Tom Sandoval and her, they sold the house that
The
Summer House is
Oh,
filmed
yes,
in.
Yeah, they sold
that's
it.
right.
I think Bravo should put them in 2 separate houses across the street from one another. I think give Ciara, Mia, and their friends a house. Give Kyle, and because he seems to be fine with it, Amanda and Wes and Jesse their own house. And obviously it's the Hamptons. They're going to run into each other at parties and at clubs and at events and stuff. And maybe at the end of the season, make them cross the street and go to one house and have the final showdown or the first showdown. But I think they should separate them because the Summer House share is about being with friends, and these fucking people hate each other.
Yeah.
It is interesting that they're not filming in the same house. Or we don't know that yet, technically.
We don't know that
'Cause
yet.
It was put up for an Airbnb, or they were like renting it out, so we know that Bravo doesn't have it for the summer. But
But for example, like the Bachelor house, like a person owns it and he leases it to the production company. So just because it went up for sale doesn't mean it depends on who buys it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's other houses in
The Hamptons.
in the Hamptons. You know what I mean? Like they could put them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they should separate them for this season.
would be interesting.
And then maybe bring them back the season after.
I mean, because we saw how much it just didn't work with the final season of Vanderpump when Ariana was like, I'm not filming with him. Like, I'm not going to be in the same room with him. I'm not going to talk to him. I don't want to do this. And I feel like Ciara is going to be the exact same way with West and Amanda.
As she should.
As she
Ciara
should.
seems
So
very
it's
good
like
at
how
enforcing her boundaries.
Yeah. So it's like, how would this work?
She has no incentive not to.
I mean, it's wild.
Wild.
The fact that we're going through this again
I know.
is beyond my measurement.
It's just like, how do you think you're going to get away with it? That's just, you know?
They clearly didn't think. I don't.
But it's like, why not?
You hosted the Met Gala carpet with Ciara, right?
Yeah,
Did you guys talk about anything behind?
You know, I had a few questions that I wanted to ask her.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
And
spill?
of course, I had to do my thing. I'm a nosy ass black man, so I want to know. You know, the gays, want to know.
I'd be asking.
I was asking everything
Did you get anything?
for her. I didn't get much. I got a feeling and a sense,
Yeah.
and I also wanted to. This is a whole new ball game for her,
Right.
so I wanted to respect that boundary for her.
Yeah, want her focus.
and we're friendly, so I'm like, I'm gonna let you focus, but trust. Once that reunion's over,
Where do you land on Ciara's outing Jen Fessler on that whole alleged affair? I was more like, I don't know if it's true or not, but like Ciara might end up like someday when she heals, like being like, I kind of didn't need to do that.
all is fair.
Oh.
Okay, burn the house down.
Burn the house down. If you see my man's dick, I'm pointing it out. I don't even care if you're his urologist. If I feel like something shady went on there, if he had a chubby in the urologist's office, I'm putting your fucking shit on blast. Okay, you get a 2-star on my motherfucking Yelp review. Okay, when a girl's in heat like that, like when she's on fire, watch the fuck out.
No,
And don't. By the way, you didn't have to walk in the house, Jim Fessler. You could have said no comment. I hope they figure it out. Oh, poor them. I feel bad for everybody involved. Nope. You took a side. You got burned. Take a lick
But
and
what
go ahead. But I think Jen Fessler's loving it too.
I don't think she is.
You don't think?
No.
I think she's living for it. She's on Jeff Lewis today. She's doing something else tomorrow. I think she's living for it.
She is back in the press.
I don't think anyone would have heard what this is what I said on Tuesday, would have heard what Jen Fessler said and it would have changed anyone's mind. I think we all would have continued to roll our eyes and be like, bitch, Jen, come on.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, of course she didn't need to say it, but like she's on a red carpet. She gets asked a question. She thought she was like defending someone like she's a friend of, or maybe more. I don't fucking know.
I mean,
but like, I just don't know if I don't know if the punishment meets the crime. But hey, what do I know?
I mean, she probably said it because she knows everything about Summer House is getting picked up. She's like gonna say it because it'll hit like
She's
whatever
messy
sort
fessy.
of. Yeah, she's trying to be messy.
I think I don't know. I think you guys are overthinking reality TV stars and like their intention when they do red carpets. I mean,
I love it.
I don't think everyone is like some incredibly thirsty person, and some people are loyal and some people will defend a friend. And sometimes people in reality TV get a little exhausted with like stan culture and the overreaction. And when they see someone they know.
I don't know. I have to disagree with that because I think they're on a red carpet. These interviewers on the red carpet know what is going to get picked up. They know what's trending right now. They know asking about Summer House is going to get a response and it's going to get clipped and it's going to get a headline. So when they ask that question, these professionals who's been doing this, Jen Fessler, for years and years and years, knows that her response.
Yeah. I mean, it's a middle ground. Like I was at the same event, did a couple interviews. I was, I think to myself, I'm always like mindful of it, careful. I'm like, if I really want to say something of note or meaning, I'll say it on my own show anyways. And, I was asked about The Bachelorette and The Bachelor and Taylor Frankie Paul. And it wasn't like that crazy, but I was like, it's 100% going to get aired. And as soon as I fucking said it, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I probably didn't need to or say, but like it was just, I was feeling fun and like, just trying to have like a
media training.
Yeah. But like sometimes it's, like
you also followed it up with, and I don't know that for sure. I don't have an insider scoop. That's just me guessing, but I do think it's going to
100%.
But
I
that's
don't
like
know
the same
for
as
sure.
Ciara being like, I love Ciara, but listen, like Wes is a golden retriever. I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know. It's not. Yeah. But anyway.
Listen, you walk in the ring. If you get punched, you get punched.
You get punched.
You know what I mean? You want to play with the big kids?
Sure.
You're playing with the big kids.
Right.
I mean, she might be back on Jersey. I don't know about to be.
She might be back at the Summer House.
Yeah.
Also, like,
oh my God,
I
bring
don't
Jen
agree.
Fessler to Summer House.
I don't agree with people dying on the vine for things like this. Like the way, and I think that Wes is gonna survive this. I don't think it's gonna be this Tom Sandoval moment. I think that Wes is actually gonna survive this because he is not running and hiding. He's on his podcast. He's showing up every day. He's talking. I think that Wes is going to get out of this better than Tom did.
Interesting
But
take.
do you think Amanda will?
I don't.
Because I think Amanda is the Tom Sandoval.
I think that Amanda is honestly going through an emotional time. I always tell celebrities this. The more you put yourself out there when you're going through a scandal, the older the story is going to get quicker.
Yeah.
If you do something in January and you hide until August, the first thing that they're going to say at your August premiere is, remember in January, first time spotted since caught cheating with X, Y, and Z. But if you go out in January, February, March, April, May, June, by the time your movie premiere comes in August, no one is going to care about the fact that you did something despicable in January.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You got to keep it moving.
So true.
Incredible advice.
I literally tell people, when I was on Daily Pop, I would tell people all the time, like, if you're ever in a bind and you want to know what the media will say or think about you doing X, Y, and Z, please call me free of charge. I want to help you guys out. And what would happen is this big celebrity would call and be like, hey, I'm getting this, from my publicist. Do you agree? A lot of the times I did, but a lot of the times too, I was like, I think that's trash advice. Like, I think that you should do X, Y, and Z. So I always would offer that to people, especially in reality TV. And by the way, I'm going to send a proposal to Lauren Sanchez because I think that she and Jeff Bezos need a little help with how to deal with the media.
What's your pitch for Lauren Sanchez?
No Met Gala.
My pitch for Lauren Sanchez would be
dress better.
No, not. But by the way, not even. I would be like, I know that you have the 30 million, but you guys are doing too much too fast and it's too furious. And when people are on a kick like this, you got to diversify. Because giving like $100 million to all celebrity charities is great because it goes to charity, but you need to get that money somewhere else. You need to go to quieter places.
Grassroots.
You might
Also-
you need to serve the potatoes.
You
Not
got to
just-
serve the potato.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, like, you don't have to show up to everything. Like, I don't need you at Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, Met Gala, Academy Awards. Like, you got to space that shit out.
They're inviting people like us to that shit now.
You know what? You got to chill.
You gotta stay home.
Speaking of, so Ariana Madix and Carl Racky were on Watch What Happens Live last night. Got very interesting information that came out of it. But like as a side note, no, it's so like my brain that was half paying attention. And honestly, like I love the trajectory of Carl right now. He's got his soft bar. I was talking about the Vulture party, and I was like, you know, good for you, man. Like everyone was kind of mocking this idea a couple years ago, and then like, you know, like culture shifted. Less and less people are drinking. More and more people are looking for literally what you made, and like props to you, man. Like you're really crushing it. Carl's doing a lot of great things, and I say that with what I'm about to say is just like Ariana has really risen above like the reality TV name. And I say this because like, when, you know, as you guys know, Watch What Happens Live, you know, they have two types of like guests, right? Major celebrity, Lisa Kudrow, or like a Bravo celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when they announced the casting in my brain without thinking about them, I saw it as Carl Racky, the reality TV star casting, and Ariana Madix, the major celebrity. And I was like, and I'm watching and I'm like, wait, Ariana's from Vanderpump. And it was just like, good for you, Ariana. Like my subconscious brain didn't see her as associated with Carl,
which is crazy.
Crazy.
Isn't that cool?
It's cool. No, it's so cool. And I want the same energy. America, Ciara Miller needs the same energy we gave Ariana.
Honestly.
She's on her way.
She's
don't
on
we
her
think?
way.
It's not happening fast enough for me. Okay? Put some gas in that fucking.
She's at the Met Gala. She's hosting After Sun. She's on
Like-
Dancing with the Stars.
She still has
That's
800,000
true.
followers on Instagram.
The internet
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. And also
yeah.
it's like she's gorgeous and does magazine covers. She has a great Instagram for you to follow.
Yeah,
and
she
everyone
should definitely have 1 million by
That
now.
is
for
crazy.
She should
sure.
have, like,
do you
10
feel like follow
million.
culture is like not a thing though anymore?
No, I just think that we need to get this girl to 1 million followers. Like, there is no reason why she should not. Everyone is talking about her right now. Like, there is nothing that people are talking about more than this woman.
Yeah.
Why does she not have 1 million followers on Instagram? Because we all know once you get to that million, the door is open for you. The opportunity is open for you. The money gets bigger. Like, let's give it to her.
Yeah, that
That's
one
so
M is
true,
so much more
yeah.
aesthetically pleasing.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's so
Meanwhile, I'm
true.
still stuck on 285. Fuck the internet.
Everyone
the
go follow
internet.
Ciara and
And
follow
Justin.
Justin.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh my god. that's funny.
A lot of people were saying that Ariana like defended Amanda on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't see it that way. I just felt like she was empathizing with the situation, which is, you know, when I was in like an unhealthy relationship, I would go to my girls and vent to them about how in ways that my man didn't show up for me. Like that's literally all she said. And like you have like some people being like, I can't believe Ariana's defending Amanda. Like it's, I don't know.
And it's, by the way, it's interesting because a few years back, if anyone said anything remotely nice about Tom or that Tom was maybe going through a hard time, you know, she was also one that would finish him, Mortal Kombat.
I guess.
And I didn't blame her. I didn't blame her.
Yeah.
She's greater.
It's not about
She really
blame.
is.
It's just more about being like, you might feel differently someday.
Having some empathy too and going through something like that changes people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you went through that publicly, you're not the same person
Yeah.
you are.
How do
Yeah.
you think West and Amanda are going to announce their inevitable breakup?
Joint statement on.
I had a friend who went through something similar. And when her husband told her that, fiance told her that he was leaving her for her best friend, not best friend, good friend. It's our good friend. She took a week and then she came back. She met with both of them and she was like, I don't care what you two do, but you motherfuckers better make it to the end. You better marry each other. You better have
At
a
that
baby.
point.
Because
Yeah.
at this point, if you're blowing up 2 relationships for a fling, like you better marry. I think Wes and Amanda are probably going to be in the same
That's what I think,
situation.
too.
They have
No,
to ride.
That's 100%.
They have to
what
ride
I've
this
been
out.
saying. Yeah,
They have
that's
to
what I've
ride
been
this
saying.
out.
But I think that's what I've been saying. I've been saying it. They better be in love. They better be like head over heels.
To make
This
it
is
worth
my
it.
person. But then to hear from the leaked audio to hear Amanda be like, you can't help who you like or who you're attracted to. I was like, no, the saying is you can't help who you love. That's the saying. Mm-hmm. So this is already off to a rocky start.
Rocky start. And that Yankees game day video.
Yeah, no.
I was like, no.
This is exactly how it's going to go down. Some version, and again, very reality TV, almost reminds me of Bachelor relationships, where like you are just aware of the social pressure of the relationship. And that is, no matter how sincere you even want to be, and no matter how sincere it is, that does play a role. And at some point, West is just going to emotionally move on. But he's going to fake it for a period of time because he knows that, like, even the part of him that cares about Amanda knows that he's going to be screwing her over and leaving her out to dry and leaving her truly alone. Amanda is going to fight tooth and nail and try to salvage this relationship because, like, she really is going to be alone, which makes this episode and hearing Kyle, like, you know, listen, Kyle is maybe a bad husband and he has to watch his words, but that was an emotional episode. And the way that, like, nothing will tear a man apart than that showing that vulnerability and have his partner who, like, when it comes to emotional connection, I think for both men and women, like, what makes an emotional connection is to know that, like, that person is your person who, like, that you open up to and they give a shit about you being emotionally down bad. And when you are opening up that way and that person is just stonewalling you, regardless of whether it's justified or not, like, those were some real tears. He was doing the blubbering, it was
no. He went through, we saw him have a breakthrough and down at the same damn time. The thing with Kyle is, fuck what you know. And I always say this, when you are married to somebody and you are in a tense moment like that, I don't care if I disagree with my husband wholeheartedly, but in front of people, I'm going to have your back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Whether it's telling people to back up or
keep it under wraps.
Like, keep it under wraps. And then when I get home, I'm going to say, you know, actually, I kind of agree with a little bit what they say, but I didn't want to say it in front of everybody. That's the first thing.
She wants people to gang up on him.
That's not good television. That's not
good but no, it's not. It's not good television, but it also is. Amanda and Kyle are at the brink of what is left of their marriage. There is no meat left on that bone. That shit is dry. It's a shank. And they are looking for reasons to get out of it. If Kyle had cheated on Amanda in a very public way, she would have left him 3 years ago, but he hadn't done that yet. You know what I mean? Like, she couldn't get out of the relationship because she was stuck in it. I don't know what they were bonded over, but they are literally at the fucking brink.
I definitely believe Kyle when he's like, you know, I get home from this stuff and she doesn't get up to kiss me. She doesn't say, like, how was it? How are you?
No,
nothing.
She fucking hates him.
Yeah.
She hates him.
I believe
they haven't had sex in 7 years, right?
Yeah.
But she said, a couple episodes ago, that was never even love in the relationship. It was like, and again, maybe that's just like projecting. Maybe that's like revisionist history. Who knows? I just thought it was really interesting when Kyle, like, literally under his breath, and it didn't seem like he was doing it for the cameras, was like kind of just being like, she can't do anything by herself. And I think he's referenced that in the past. I've heard it on the streets outside of a TV show. It's just really interesting when you think about, again, West and Amanda, and just, again, her decision tree was like, maybe Kyle's right. You know,
but hold on, let me play the opposite. Let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
Please.
If you have been married to somebody who stays out all night, gets lit.
Sure. Yeah.
You have been telling him that he can't party like that. He picks a career that literally has him doing the things that you have told him for a very long time. And you feel like he has not shown up as a partner and listened to you. You know what? Skewer his ass. Yeah. You tell him, because I've been telling him this for the last fucking 9 years. Like, you're talking about somebody, like, she's literally in a bed by herself. And he goes to the club and then realizes that, oh, I shouldn't have gone out, so I'm coming back here. How many times does that happen in the city to her and that we don't know about?
At someone other's house.
That is true.
That too.
Yeah.
No,
you know what I mean?
And him leaving in last night's episode after that fight, leaving her at the house alone was also nuts.
It's also nuts.
You know what? And I, by the way, I'm giving them equal blame, because as an adult in your life, and I get it, You were on a reality show. You got the master bedroom. You were the married couple. You had the wedding. People were fangirling over you guys. So you felt the pressure to stay together. I totally understand it. But at some point, you got to look at each other and be like, I have not slapped that coochie in 6 years. You have not kissed me in 4. Should we call this?
Right.
Yeah.
At least now we are getting equal blame, because it is honestly just more fun and refreshing now that, like, you know, it's like safe to like
to pile on Amanda.
Right. And now we're at least open to the possibility of being like, not excusing any of Kyle's behavior, but like we're at least open to being like,
he fucked up too.
Yeah, maybe she wasn't the best partner either.
Yeah, just empathizing with the fact that like maybe, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the blame. I'm not doing the thing that we do in society. We're going to go ham on the woman. Like, and I'm not saying that that you guys are doing it. I'm saying that everybody is doing this thing right now. And I'm just not, I'm like, fuck that. Like, yes, she fucked up. Yes, she totally did. But I'm not going to let her take the blame for Kyle's shit too.
No.
Or more importantly, Wes, because like I've been saying this past couple of weeks that like, I think after watching this episode, I don't think maybe West is emotionally mature. Like part of me is this like, you know, he's one of those like kind of new aged men that kind of like relates to women.
He listens to podcasts,
therapy speak, and all these things. But like the way he was just like, yeah, I don't know. Like I just like Ciara's kind of like, I thought she just hated me for 2 years, and turns out she kind of like deeply loved me, and it's just all very confusing. Like honestly, I don't know if that's an act or he's just like that emotionally stupid.
It's both.
You think it's both?
I think it's both.
But the thing is, like, you know, again, he's getting out in front of it. He's not backing down. He's not hiding in the wings.
Well, to your point, he's gaining the followers while everybody's turning on Amanda.
Exactly.
Which is crazy.
Well, because Wes is giving you a reason to follow and Amanda isn't.
But by the way, Amanda can't give you that right now because baby girl's going through a motherfucking divorce.
Yeah.
And every woman in the world hates her.
Yeah.
So
didn't she post like a mirror picture the other day and like it just got flamed for it?
It was her first time posting in a while, and she was at a game.
What the fuck?
No, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? Take a photo of you walking into rehab, being like, you guys, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I'm going to deal with my shit. Like, give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. I can work with that.
I don't even think people would have sympathy for that.
They wouldn't.
It's really crazy. Damn.
The internet.
It is. It's such a interesting thing because you just watch. It's like, have you guys ever seen that tweet where it's like, I don't support all women, some of y'all bitches are very dumb?
Yeah,
like, it's like that with Amanda. Like that is how I feel about Amanda, but then at the same time it's so frustrating to watch like misogyny also do its thing in this, because it's like, I want to be able to be a hater in the way that you should be a hater with this. Is just like, you're a person and you fucked up with people who care about you. But now I gotta be like, okay, let's not send her death threats just because she's a woman.
Amen.
Like, I don't want to have to defend you, but it's like, if we're gonna like be nicer to West about this than Amanda, what the fuck are we doing here?
Honest question, maybe this is the 45-year-old guy to me. How is people reacting to Amanda in the gross way and the women hating women? Why is that misogyny's fault?
Why is women hating women misogyny's fault?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think
him.
Okay, so I think what happens a lot of the time is you have this thing called internalized misogyny where women grow up like being told that other women are the issue in relation to getting attention from men.
There's no food at home. The house is
yeah.
not clean. Like, it's just society saying like it's her fault.
Yeah, it's her fault. So then it's like when you see something happen with Amanda and she made this decision, she's the one that did it. She's the one that was more emotionally mature and should have known better than Wes, because Wes is this puppy dog. As Jen Fessler would say, he's a golden retriever.
Yeah.
So it's like all of this narrative of like, oh, well, Wes is just this like stupid guy that doesn't have any sort of like capacity to take accountability for his own actions. Amanda, however, you are the issue. Like, you're the one that ruined all of this. So let's completely eviscerate you. And it's disgusting to see what you did. And like, that is the rage it brings up in women specifically, because it's like, we should know better, you should know better, versus just like treating her the same you would as a person, which is like, people are fucking stupid.
And also,
sometimes.
when it first broke, the images that they were using of Amanda are sexualized images of her, which is like, why are we using these images when like Wes is just fully clothed in a hat?
Yeah, it's like an evil cheating woman is like a great story to sell because it gets people invested. It gets, oh my God, how could you do the worst thing that you've ever done, that anyone could ever do? Which it's like, people like die. Like, there are people who kill other people, but like there are are Bravo celebrities who like have literally gone to jail, but we still support them. But then it's like as soon as you cheat on someone, you're like, oh, get fucked.
Let him know.
Die.
But also
crazy.
question, what is the definition of misogyny? And by the way, Mary, thank you for that very articulate and very passionate explanation.
Mary, that was like the white lady version of what you will know is that your baby daddy had to ejaculate into a cup so that he could buy a medium pizza so that you could have a baby. Now check that. That's basically what that was.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
The definition of misogyny refers to the fear or dislike of certain behaviors exhibited by women. Generally, misogynists hate how women behave, particularly when they exhibit their strength, independence, and ambition.
So
It
it's
is
the perception?
derived from the Greek language and means hatred of women.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
all right, that makes sense.
People do be hating women.
From the beautiful Greek language, hatred of women.
So yeah, we should definitely blame misogyny.
I'm doing it. I'm blaming it.
Case
you.
closed.
I think that wraps it up, right? I mean,
Wait,
what?
did we talk about the preview of Ciara kissing Wes, or did I miss
Well, no, this is the
Oh.
fact that you could, like, from last night's episode, you have screenshots. There's like a photo. Natalie shared it. You got West kissing Amanda, holding Amanda, kissing Ciara, all in the same episode. It's like, just first of all, cigarette editor.
Yep.
Bravo.
I feel like we should give her a name.
Mhm.
By the way, you know what her name is? Sally.
Sally.
You're doing the fucking Lord's work, Sal.
Yes, she is.
Round of applause
She
for
is.
Sally and her drug addiction. That makes her a great editor.
But,
Literally.
The kiss.
but truly diabolical.
Diabolical. But I'm also, again, I'm sticking with, I don't think they were bumping uglies back then, that summer.
No.
Agreed.
I think this started early year
Right.
and got blown up, or late last year.
Do you
minimum.
think Ciara, they kiss, Ciara goes to Amanda and they have like a whole discussion about the kiss?
Yes.
And Amanda's like super, like Amanda's reaction to that is going to be very telling, I think.
Y'all, it's going to be wild. This
Wild.
is
Mhm.
going to be the wildest next 3 weeks until we get that first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until we get that first episode, we are going
Wait,
to be.
and then we roll right into In the City.
Oh my God.
So true. And them being like, we're picking up cameras like we're for In the City for following West and Amanda.
Oh, feed
It's
the
like Nora
addiction.
Ephron's The Valley. It's going to be
Feed
crazy.
the addiction.
It really is.
It's wild.
Also, how the fuck did Michelle end up with Dr. Dre? Can someone answer that question for me?
Oh, I don't know.
And
I don't know. But
That's
like,
crazy.
Apparently, we were told he has very scary lawyers.
Oh shit. But no, I love it. I'm trying to figure out how they figure it out. Like, I'm just trying to, how did they meet?
Is that
what
a
I'm trying to
thing? Is
figure
it
out.
an ongoing thing, or did they have lunch?
they're holding
I think they were just
hands.
friends holding hands to make sure he got to the car safely.
Baby girl.
Okay.
Sometimes you just
If-
want to connect.
How
I
old
don't
is
know.
Dr. Dre?
How old is
If
Dr.
you're
know
going
that.
to Nobu or Ebaldi,
Yeah.
you want to be
Or
seen
Craig's.
because that's a Craig.
61.
That is your.
That's
your
true.
fella.
You're right. You like if you're a professional celebrity, you know where you are and are not getting popped.
Wasn't Justin's like, are you not clocking it at Nobu?
Was it?
I feel like it was.
I feel like it was in Palm Springs.
I think it was like at Coachella, no, or something.
No.
I know Wes played football, but now I'm thinking about it. Like he was definitely a high school quarterback. He had to have been. Just the way he moves.
the energy.
Just the way he
energy.
moves, where he's just like he has to flirt with everyone. He just has to know he can, and that it's not an excuse, but like that's what blows my mind. It's this cavalierness. Again, like how does he move on like the comment towards Dara, and then like you know like
It's
you have
crazy.
one episode where he's just like laying it on thick with
Hold
a
a minute.
bunch of women, 2/3 of which are in relationships.
And that's coming from a former fuckboy here, okay? So he knows the rhetoric. But I'm going to ask you guys a scientific question, and this is purely for research purposes, okay?
Okay.
Do you think the sex is good?
Between West and Amanda.
No, just the West of it all.
Oh.
You know,
I think so.
Not necessarily.
I
No.
think
I
so.
feel like it has to
No.
be.
He has
no,
too much.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Hard to
Mary's saying no.
He has so much Riz, like it has to reflect in the body.
say. Riz has
No.
nothing to do with that.
Amen.
I think it's fine.
I think,
You think
it's
it's
a
fine?
lot. I think it's a lot. A
I-
lot of the time, it's like really nasty drunk sex. And
I bet it's really selfish, honestly.
Oh my God, you took the words out of my mouth.
I bet he claims to be an eater. and like
and doesn't do it. And doesn't do it.
Or just like, no, that's like a thing he says. You know what I mean? Even if he does it or not,
No,
he
it's
like
the classic.
takes it.
No,
as
it's the
part of his
classic.
thing.
Did you come
No,
right
no,
after
no.
he knows
He
she
wants-
didn't and he did?
No,
After,
he wants,
oh my God.
He wants to do 69 and be on the bottom. No, be on the top.
Let me tell you what it is. I think the sex is meh. But I think the before and after is
Good.
what the girls are really
Yes.
attracted
Yeah.
to. I
He
think
cut
that
him.
let me make you a cocktail. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come over. We're gonna sit by the fire.
We're
We're gonna
gonna
have
goof
deep
around.
conversation.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have this meh
Yeah.
sex, and then I'm gonna stick around and we're gonna cuddle.
He kinda
and I'm gonna
ties up
ask you about
loose
Noah
ends.
Ephron. Yes,
And it's
I
like-
think it's that. So meh, yes, meh.
I think
meh.
the Riz is what you're saying. I think it's the experience is what I was getting at.
Yeah,
I agree
it's
with
it's
you.
an overall positive experience, but like the is probably very selfish.
Very clunky.
I don't even know if it's clunky. I think it's just selfish.
I think it's confident and like he knows what he's doing, but it's like I don't think there's that much care in it. I don't think he's really trying super hard, to be honest, because like I think he's just there.
Damn,
he's
Mary is
literally just a
reading
guy.
everybody today, Mary.
She
What
is.
the
She's
fuck
on
happened
one.
to you? Mary is on one
She's on
today.
one
Thank you,
today.
Justin.
I'm here for. I support it.
Thank you.
Justin, I mean, we love you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you guys. I really
Um,
appreciate it.
Justin Sylvester, thanks so much for coming. We love you. Where can everyone find you? I know all over the internet.
Get him to a
Oh
million.
my God. Get me to 1 million followers
Get him to a
at
million.
Justin A. Sylvester. And my podcast, Yestergays, comes out every Tuesday morning.
Love
it's
it.
so much
Nice.
fun with
Great.
Blakely Thornton. You guys would really like it. if
You're
you like
honestly,
this
your
shit.
social media has been so good recently. So like everyone needs to be following you.
It is really good.
Thank you.
really
and can a bitch get an ad? Can a motherfucker sell some flat tummy tea?
Really looking forward to the invite on
Exactly.
your podcast, Justin.
Yeah, me
whenever that
too.
happens.
Done. We're in.
Justin Sylvester, everybody, we love him. Thank you to all our guests, Justin Sylvester and Jake O'Kane Esquire. We appreciate them and appreciate you all for listening. We have a big week lined up for you next week. Be sure to watch Perfect Match over the weekend if you haven't already. It's a great season. You're going to enjoy it. Allie Luber, Bravo of Bravo Lore, is an absolute star. If you,
Absolute star.
She's so good in it. It's a really good show, so make sure you check it out. And we will see you on Monday. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.